Good evening, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of the GPVWC Formula Challenge season. Here we are in Austria at the Red Bull Ring for the first time since 2018 that GPVWC has come here. It's given us some exciting races in the past, so let's hope we can get back to that this year. Alongside me, as normal, is Menno Klont. Menno, how are you looking forward to this one?
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward, as always, to the races here in at the Red Bull Ring, Austria, at the place Spielberg in the mountains. So let's see what it will bring. Quite a short track, so I think the qualifying session we just started will be very, very close. So yeah, it will be. I hope we will see a lot of guys, yeah, within the second of pole or even closer. So yeah. Looking forward to the qualifying session, and I think after we can tell who the big favorites are. But yeah, it will be a close session, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It will also be quite an important one, I think, in terms of the championship. I see last time out in Baku, the lead that Darius Andre had at the top closed quite a lot to Isaac Morris, obviously retiring from race 2. So Darius Andre now on 127 points after that, and Isaac Morris on 124. So those two, it's going to be very important for them to be at the front today, especially at a track like this, where really, like we said, there's been some exciting races in the past. Anything could really happen, and I think today there has been a relatively high chance of rain. So it's important for these guys to just have a good round. And then meanwhile behind them you've got Jake Dennehan just about 20 points off in the championship. Obviously Darius's teammate. He'll be looking to kind of carry on the form he's been shown in the last few rounds. Done quite well. Meanwhile here though, Dylan Platt, the first person to start his lap, so we'll have to keep an eye out on what his sector times are looking like.
Well, the thing is with this track, of course, it's a very short track, only I believe 70 seconds for a lap. So we will see a lot of qualifying laps today here, Josh. So that makes it interesting. Well, I believe from all the times you see so far, Dylan Platt has got the fastest first sector.
He does,
the first
yeah.
sector is only 20 seconds. So short track.
Riva Michele and then Isaac Morris and then Jake Dennehan just beating that first sector. But like you say, it is a very short track. Should be, well, yeah, they should be able to get a lot of times in. But also, there's a good chance of traffic holding people up. But also, it should mean we have quite an exciting session. The time should be very close. We probably will be unlikely to see what we had last time out in Baku with Fabian Roof going half a second quicker than anyone else in the qualification there. As we can see there, Dylan Platt crossed the line first, like I said, doing an 18.2.
18.2 I think is decent, but not super fast. I think the pole position will be in the 117th, so I think he's quite a well up. I now see Adam Rainey jump to P1, and now Ruben Machede jumps to P1 with a 118.186.
Yeah, and Jake Dennehan there just beat him by 2,000ths, and then Fabian Reef beat Jake by another 200ths. So, like we said already, the top three covered by just 200ths. Jan Grankvist has managed to split in between that. So the top four now covered by 200ths.
We already said it would be close, and the first run actually confirms that will be very close. Well, I believe we've got Sean Jones, who's really fast in the first sector.
Yeah, he's been going quickly. Where's he going to end up? Oh, he must have had a quite bad final set to it. Ended up P23.
P23. Yeah, that's because the track is that short. You cannot make a single mistake, and yeah, when you're so on the edge of your peak performance, you can make a mistake by running wide into the last two corners. The last two corners are pretty tricky, especially when you know that the rest of the lap was pretty good, but you still need to make sure that you take good balance out of risk and and keep it safe in the last two corners. So yeah, I think something happened there because it was quite a bad last sector.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there we just had Darius Andre go into the 17s, the first person into the 17s. Meanwhile, just before that, we had Mike Quint take provisional pole, but it seems everyone is now already getting their second laps in. Clearly, just doing multiple laps in rather than pitting in between them all. So it should change about quite a bit at the top by the looks of it so far. But new people in there, we've had Scott Mitchell now jump up into P5. And his teammate Jack Nichols down in P17. I'll be expecting a little bit better than that. Kings Racing now second in the team standings. But they've always been a consistent team. So I'm sure they can improve over the course of the session.
Well, we currently got, let me see, 18 drivers within a second of the pole position. So yeah, it's really close at the moment. A lot of green lap times. I believe Scott Mitchell is on another improvement. Let's see what he can do. He's now in the final sector.
Yeah, he actually set So green sector 1, purple sector 2 for Scott Mitchell. Comes around the final corner, that's quite clean. See what he can do as he opens the DRS, crosses the line, and it puts him up to P2, just 300 off Darius Andre.
But also in the 117. So that's, I think, yeah, that's what you need to have when you want to be in the top 10. We now got 3 drivers in the 117, but I'm pretty sure we will see more drivers jumping into that later in this session.
Yeah, exactly. It's important if these guys just set a banker lap first time around. They won't necessarily show their ultimate pace, just to warm themselves up a little bit. And obviously as well, as the session goes on, there'll be more grip down on the track, which will help them even more to improve their lap time. But I think we should see quite a few more people jump into the 17s. As we've got then Jake Dennehan now, green sector 1. I think he's just started his first run in his second stint in this quali session. So looking pretty good sector 1. Obviously at the moment only about 2/10 off pole, but he's got a bit of traffic clear in front of him. It's a Team Frelik car, I believe, in front. That's not going to do him well through there. That is the one sector where you do not want to be held up. It's the main one with the corners at this track. So that's not going to help him at all. There's another car in front now entering the pit lane. Going to have to make an overtake here on his quali lap. That is, not ideal. So just going to have to go for another lap. Yes, so doesn't improve his lap time, of course, and actually does back off. So clearly not able to go for a second lap in a row.
Well, I now see a lot of green sector time for Maciej Sandak, who still is in P30. I believe he will improve quite a lot now to the final corner. How good was this lap from him? And I believe in the end he didn't improve.
No, I think important thing to note about that though, obviously Maciej Sandak after the Baku round last time out has got himself a 20 place grid penalty for an incident. So could just be maybe not even trying to do quali runs, as he'll likely be at the back anyway. So he could just be using this as an extra practice session really for the race.
Yeah. Well, I see Mikael Tumala now with green sector times, and he jumps to P8, less than 3/10 of pole position. And yep. I believe we now had Mika Hakimi put in a very good lap time. He's now in P6. So Mika Hakimi actually, is new for this round at Spineo Force Polonia, replacing Guillaume Branson. So he's new. And let's see, we've got more new guys. Of course, we've got Jan Grankvist in for the academy team. And,
yeah, he's actually doing very well. I believe this is his first career ladder round, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, at the moment sitting in P3, so a very good start for him.
Also, I now see a purple sector for Dylan Platt. Can he improve out of the last corner? I don't think so, because I saw a big slide into the last corner. Or can he improve?
Well, he does improve, because up to P6 there. So we've got, we talked about it being close, we've got the top 7 within 600ths of each other now. So yeah, very close.
We've got
another
Mika
Hakimi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going around purple sector 2, green sector 1, comes out the final corner here. Might even get a little bit of a toe here up to the line to help him. As it puts him at the front.
Oh,
quite a big margin.
Ooh,
over a tenth there, 1.5 tenths. That's very good stuff.
Very good. I mean, you see purple sector, so you know he's fast, but then to jump with more than a tenth to their current pole position is quite impressive for him. And now I believe he already is being demoted to P2 because Fabian Root now jumped to P1. And I believe he did that without setting a single purple sector, but just all green sectors, and he still gets pole position.
Yeah, so, exactly. It's that shows how important it is to just hook up your lap. Obviously, it's very helpful to get purple sectors and be the fastest overall, but if you then mess up the next sector, then it's all for nothing, really. So,
very true.
yeah, Fabian Reef just proven that.
And looking at the scoring now, we've got 25 drivers within a second of pole position, and yeah, multiple drivers are still improving. Like I see now, Mateusz Gizowski improving at least putting in green sector times. Let's see where he jumps to. Is it my ratio, which is a bit behind? I believe so. He already jumped to P17. Let's see, do we got more green sector times? Josh, do you see anything you want to tell us?
Ready, so we've got Ruben Machete. I'm not too sure if his set to 1 is too great, but set to 2 is green. It's coming around the final corner. We'll see what it is. Oh, it looks like maybe his set to 1 wasn't all that good. No, that was just a warm-up lap, I guess. He'll now be pushing.
You see a lot of people improving, and I believe my Quint is going quite fast now. He's in P9, waiting for his second sector. If that's green again, he potentially can go to join the group from the 170s. My Quint is now the fastest guy without a 117, but yeah, my Quint had a lot of traffic and he went off. That's just yeah, a bit distract. It's so tight and yeah, it's not that long.
The car in front though, he's got no front wing, so probably quite difficult to really back out of that. So he cannot be going all that quick with that car. State it is.
I think Mike will have another run if he yeah, fits for new tires and refuels and go out again. So
yeah, exactly. There's still enough time in the session for it.
I believe Adam Rainey had an improvement in the first sector, but not in the second sector. So
yeah, it looks like I think maybe is Adam Rainey there has a bit of a lag issue, but it looks like the drivers maybe figured out that the tyres are working better potentially on the second lap, because we've got a lot of people now going around that are not improving on their first lap, and then going for the second one.
Well, we had Luke Mitchell jumping into P10. So he is now putting his downforce car in a very good position. Well, I now see that Adam Rainey now has put in a purple sector. So let's go to Adam Rainey. We've got a great toe in front, but that could potentially be yeah, some traffic in the second sector. So I fear so. He used his rival to get the toe, but if the rival stays in front, it will now give him dirty air.
Exactly. Yeah.
But his second sector still, I believe, is green. So that will be interesting. Can he improve? So that's no, I believe not, because he went out of track limits. So I don't think Adam Rainey can. Well, this lap will be valid for him, and I believe that's the confirmation. So no improvement for now.
Yeah, and obviously now he's a bit of a as he's in half spins there at turn 1. Yeah, I was going to say he's in a tricky spot because he's got the car right in front of him to start his lap. So it's always going to be difficult there. But we've got Jan Grampfist, person highest up at the moment, improving from P5. Let's see what he'll go when he crosses the line now. And he doesn't improve in the final bit there.
Let's see if we can see even more improvements. So I believe Michael Tumala jumped into P9 in this qualifying session. With now we have got no time left in this session, so everybody who's now on a lap can finish their lap. We shall see.
Yeah, it's Mika Hakimi at the front. Let's see, at the moment only 6 thousandths off pole. He's green sector 1, purple sector 2. And Fabian Reef doesn't seem to be improving, so this is important here. See if Hakimi can get this final corner right.
Oh no, he can't!
Oh no, he loses it.
He can't, he throws it away!
He backs out.
Oh!
He had the chance there. Fabian Reef ended up going into the pits anyway. so he wasn't going to improve. But unfortunately, Mika Hakimi couldn't either, just losing it in that final corner.
I believe Dylan Platt is still on a very fast lap. What can he do? He improved in the second sector. Can he improve it overall?
No.
No.
He spins there out the final corner. Looks like everyone trying to push a little bit too hard, maybe knowing that it's their final chance. And going for slow, he doesn't improve either. Final lap there. So it looks like at the moment, I can see Jaron van der Waai cross the line. I believe to be the final car, and he moves up to P24.
Ooh, that's good. So yeah, I think what you saw the final few laps is that they know their lap they already put in is really good. So you need to put in all risk in the last lap, and if you know that you're more or less on your the same time, you want to take a little bit more risks to see if that works out and you can gain some time. And unfortunately for Mika Hakimi, he threw it away there, but still P2, so I think it's not too bad for him. And also for Dylan in P8, he's not out of it. So yeah, this was a very close qualifying session with 27 drivers within a second, and I believe the whole grid within 1.3 seconds. Josh?
Yeah, exactly. Very tight. And we'll run through the grid there. Obviously, like we say, Fabian Ruth taking that pole. Mika Hakimi in his first career ladder start, taking P2. Darius Andre P3, which is very important for him, as we'll get to a little bit later. Got Mitchell P4. Jan Grankvist again on his first career ladder race in P5. Adam Rainey P6. Riva Machado P7. And then Dylan Pratt P8. Mike Quint P9. And Michael Tumala doing a very good job there to finish P10. In quali, that is. And then Joseph Herlock, looks like he's now, obviously he was with the academy team last time out. It looks like he's been signed now full-time for Alpha Delta Racing. He's in 11th, Jake Denham P12, Luke Mitchell P13, and then Isaac Morris. We were talking about how important it is for these guys to have a good session here. He's down in P14, which Darius Andre, I'm sure, will be loving. Massimiliano Riboli P15, though. Tom Parker P16, Scato P17, Tom van der Voort P18, Macho Sandat P19, and Jack Nichols P20. And then we've got Mateusz Gazowski P21, Sean Jones P22, Stefan Schreider P23, Jared van der Waai P24, Mike Bell P25, Evan Morville P26, Darwin Household P27, Bruno Sousa Ferreira P28, Jeff Closer P29, and Ben Willis P30. And then at the back of the grid is Tommy Koivunen. Although I say that, obviously, like we said before, Macho Sandak does have a 20-place grid penalty. So I believe he will be starting behind him. And that means that there is just one car missing today. Not too sure who that is. Yeah. So what do you think of that one, Menno?
I believe the car that is missing is one of the Nova Finlandia cars.
Yes, it is. Alright, so we've just got Isaac Morris there for them.
So that's the car that's missing. Maybe it will be rejoining later. But yeah, qualifying is really close. And in the end we had 8 drivers in the 117s. But yeah, it can be, I think, everybody's race. And if you then looked at the P15 is less than 5/10 of the pole, then also the second race will be very interesting when we see a reverse grid number, Josh. So yeah, I think it's got all ingredients to go really well today and be really close. And yeah, we shall see.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like I say, the second race especially will be exciting. It's the track. Obviously, we've got 3 DRS zones here, long straights, so it can be good for overtaking. But it's also a track where it's quite easy to make a mistake. And if you do make a mistake, as well seen in that qualifying session, you will lose a lot of time, and in the race, obviously, a lot of positions. So yeah, it should be quite interesting to watch, see how the drivers kind of go about things. But for now, we've just got 8 minutes left of this warm-up session, where the drivers will be testing out the car on the heavier fuel for the race. seeing what it's like getting out of the quali or the qualifying kind of way of driving things. Just getting used to the car again on race fuel.
Yeah, I see a lot of drivers already doing a bit of practice starts at the end of the pits or on the start finish. So yeah, they're really busy with with the start. Also because I believe towards turn 1 it's going a bit upwards, so yeah, practicing the start there will of course be very interesting, that you not roll back when you're in your grid slot. So there's all those things they are currently testing. So yeah, that's what this startup session is for.
Yeah, exactly. See there, Jan Granfersen, first driver to set a time in the session in the 1:18s. So like I said, the cars will be a bit heavier on the race fuel, so obviously times will be a bit slower, but also the times aren't necessarily all that representative in these sessions. Drivers will be testing out different things, maybe not fully going for their laps if they're setting up for practice starts and things like that. But I'm sure for the drivers there's still a big confidence boost if you end up topping the session, which at the moment now Luke Mitchell is topping.
So what is very interesting, I believe, that if I look at the qualifying results, is where Isaac Morris is starting, Josh. Let's talk about that.
Yes, exactly. I mentioned, yeah, down in P14. Not good for him. Like I said, in his fight with Darius Andre for the title, they've both been very quick all throughout this season. So it's a bit of a surprise to be Isaac down there, maybe just not quite able to pull a lap together. Obviously pull a quick lap together. But I'm sure in the race he'll be very motivated now to fight his way through. It'd be quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, I totally agree. And also Jake Denhan, only P12. He's he's a guy that is in the hunt for our championship leader Darius Andre. Yeah, he's only P12. In the margins it's not by much. Yeah? It's 3/10 from pole, but it puts him in P12, and that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. That it's that close. And yeah, if you don't have the perfect lap time, you will have a big problem in that. So yeah, I think it will be very interesting to see what the race will bring. Also for Isaac and for Jake, because they will be in the middle of the pack, and something is more likely to happen there. So, yeah.
Exactly. It'll be quite important for them to properly think about how they're going to go about the race. Obviously, they might want to kind of try and make up a lot of positions to claw back at all the points they can, but obviously that quite a risky strategy and could lead to them being out of the race and not getting any, which obviously be even worse for them. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about it and just how much race pace they actually do have. Obviously it could potentially be that the setup maybe is more of a race setup. Obviously, like we said, this track does have, obviously a lot of the track is a straight line, but then you've got the middle sector there where you'll need all the downforce you can with 2 fast corners, so maybe they're running slightly lower wing, which could help them in the race itself, get the overtakes done. As I say that though, Darius Andre clearly his setup isn't too bad on race pace either. He's at the top of the standing of the timesheets at the moment, and actually he's done a 1:18.4, so they're not too far off what they've been doing in qualifying, which was quite a surprise.
Yeah, that's a very good lap time from Darius, and yeah, it shows that he's ready to fight. And with P3, of course, we'll have yeah, all chances to get yeah, podium or even more. And we know that when Darius is driving, he's always going for it. I think 110%. So yeah, can't wait to see him. Yeah, trying to go for yeah, overtakes and stuff, and that makes it always very enjoyable to watch.
Exactly, yeah. Although he's just had a bit of overtaking practice up into turn 3, and they had a slight bit of contact there with one of the sim racing guys' cars. So maybe, even though it's just a warm-up session, being a little bit feisty there, going for the moves, but I suppose he has to test out what sort of moves he can make, how late on the brakes he could be, and all the things like that. So then, as we just now go into the final minute of this warm-up session, like I mentioned earlier, got Darius Andre still at the top of the times at the moment, 2 tenths ahead of Dylan Platt. Obviously that is quite a big gap, considering what we saw in qualifying, but like I said, yeah, the times don't necessarily mean much in this session, but sure Darius will be enjoying being at the top of the timesheets nevertheless. A lot of the other drivers, well, in the pits at the moment, but I'm sure they've spent their time doing all the race start preparations they can, making sure they understand how to get the best launch they can, because yeah, I mean, with how close the grid is, a bad start can drop you down so many positions as well. See, a relatively short run to turn 1, but then after that you've got a long straight up to turn 3, which is effectively, at least for these drivers, turn 2, or the second braking zone.
Yeah, something I wanted to add on that is that the first corner is, of course, is blind, and if something happens there, maybe at the exit and some car will spin there, it will be very difficult for the pack to see that. If like one of the guys from like the top 5 or top 10 will have an incident there, then it, yeah, that can be a bit drama. But let's see what will happen. Yeah, the blind corners on this track sometimes can give a bit of a problem. Also, the last few corners can be a bit blind, and yeah, let's not hope that there is a stationary car somewhere on track during the race, Josh. That's not something we want to see, but something what can happen, of course, here.
Exactly, I believe in 2018, like I said, the last time GPVWC was at this track, in the career ladder at least, in Super Cup, there was a pretty big incident at turn 1. Like you say, it was just one car making a mistake, and then the other cars coming over the blind crest, suddenly having to dart out the way and go either side. So it is quite difficult for that, but like I said, hopefully we don't see that today. We of course want all the drivers to make it through cleanly and have a good race.
Yeah, but yeah, I think unfortunately we will always see some drama, and let's hope it's not too bad. And we don't see any flying cars today. Well, yeah, good flying cars, not as they actually go airborne. We saw that enough this season, so let's not hope for that.
Yes, exactly. As for now, warm-up has ended. Heading into the race session now, so the drivers will be doing their final check, getting onto the grid. And then on the formation lap, obviously we'll run through the grid again to let you know what the order is. So then we now head on to the formation lap. All the cars have chosen to take the formation lap. No one's starting from the pits today. It's good to see. And we will be running you through the grid order. Sorry, having some technical issues there, but here's the grid order. Fabian Rufen, the Team Frelik, taking pole once again. Darius Andre P2, Scott Mitchell P3, and Jan Grankvist, like I said, on his debut in P4. Very good stuff. Adam Rainey P5, Ruben Machado P6, Dylan Platt P7, and Mike Quint in P8. And then Michael Tumala P9, Joseph Herlock P10, Jake Dennehan P11, and Luke Mitchell in P12. And Isaac Morris P13, Massimiliano Riboli P14, Tom Parker P15, and Diogo Moscato P16. Tom van der Voort P17, Jack Nichols P18, Tez Kozowski P19, and Sean Jones P20. And then I think we must have missed a penalty here. Mika Hakimi down in P21, so much lower than where he qualified. Stefan Schreider P22, Jan van der Weide P23, and Mike Bell in P24. And Kevin Morville P25, with his teammate Dan Hosel behind him in P26. Bruno Sousa Ferreira P27, and Jeff Close P28. And then the final couple of rows, Ben Willis P29, Tommy Koiven in P30, and Maciek Sandak, like we mentioned, with his penalty as well, lining up last in P31. But yeah, like I said, we must have missed that penalty for Mika Hakimi, but it's a shame to see for him.
That's a big
did a
shame.
great
Yeah,
job there.
Because I hoped on that battle between Ruud and Hakimi. But I fear we will not have it in this race unless something dramatic happens. But of course, will still be a very interesting race. I believe nearly everybody now lined up.
Yeah, it does mean as well we've got Darius Andre now P2, so he's going to be enjoying himself even more now, championship-wise. But the lights are on now. 5 lights. And we go in Austria. Darius Andre gets a good start there. Yeah, he's going to look to the inside of Fabian Rufen into turn 1. He does. He's got his nose in. Fabian leaves the space, but Darius not quite able to make the move there. Further behind, it looks like it's been relatively clean, which is good to see. Yeah, no big incidents so far.
No drama.
Climbing up the hill.
Oh, look at Darius.
Darius Andre is very close. Gonna send it to the inside there at turn 3. No contact, good. Push them a little bit wide on the exit, but Darius Andre has made the move up into the lead.
And now look at Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell will have a double slipstream. Can he go for it? Can he also overtake Fabian Ruud? He would try to go for it, but no. So it's still Darius Andre leading, then Fabian Ruud in P2, and then Scott Mitchell in P3. While I hear there is a yellow flag. But
I'll try to have a look. Sean Jones, he's at the back now. Lost quite a lot of time to the grid in front of him, so I'm not too sure what's happened there with him. Meanwhile, Isaac Morris has done quite well. He's made his way already up into P10 from P13, so that's good to see from him. But then the other one, Mika Hakimi, he actually dropped a couple of positions back to P23.
Oh, well, I had Adam Rainey going off track on the second to last corner, but he, it was only a small and a brief excursion. So yeah, after one lap, it's Darius Andre leading. And the top 4 is still quite close, and I believe now Jan Grankvist in P4 will have run on Scott Mitchell. Jan Granqvist is going around the outside. Can he brake later and then get the position out of from Scott? He's going to try, brakes later. But Scott is still there, and Scott keeps P3 for now. So Jan Granqvist will try to get the slipstream again. But of course Scott will send him around the outside again. So attempt 2 for Jan Granqvist, tries to brake later, and I think he did that. Yeah, he now makes it stick. They're still more or less next to each other, but Jan will now have the shorter line into the next corner. So it's got Mitchell now in P4 with Jan Granqvist now in P3.
Yeah, that was a great move there from Granqvist. That's a quite an easy corner to really run wide at the best of times, let alone while trying to go around the outside of someone. So very impressive to see there. Looking further back, we have Mika Hakimi trying to make a move on Jeff Closer, but was not quite able to do that, so he's still down in P23. Seems like a lot of the drivers now are just settling in, waiting for this DRS, which will make their moves obviously a lot easier. And at the front, Darius Andre, he's still got Fabian Reeve behind him in the DRS, but he's not quite close enough to make any moves yet. Scott Mitchell, so you can have a look at Jan Granqvist here into turn 3. No, he's going to hold back a little bit. Quite smart, obviously. We're quite used to seeing the Kings Racing guys do that, not go for any aggressive moves, or been too aggressive at least. So he's just sitting back at the moment. Meanwhile, further back, Joseph Frelik here. He's going to have a look on Isaac Morris, not quite in turn 4. So everyone's sort of staying as they are. Say that, we've got Luke Mitchell side by side with Diego Moscato, exiting turn 4. Going into turn 5, it's a difficult corner to go side by side. Luke Mitchell losing it a little bit. They're still side by side, but looks like Diego Moscato's got that one. And Jack Nichols behind, just watching there, hoping for a bit more to happen for him to be able to make the positions. But he'll keep it in a straight line for now.
Yeah, and what is very interesting, that we now have a couple of laps completed, in Darius and Fabian are now 1 and 2, but they actually are quite far ahead already from Jan Granqvist, so that's interesting. While Jan Granqvist is actually having a whole train of cars behind him. So let's look into if Fabian and Darius, if they can extend the lead they now have got on Jan.
Yeah, hold on, we've got Adam Rainey there trying to run outside turn 3. I believe Scott Mitchell may have made a slight mistake out of turn 1. Dropped back massively from Jan Granqvist, and they got under pressure there from Adam Rainey. Not able to make the move there, but he's going to have another look here into turn 4. Going to have to go around the outside, and not quite far enough this time. Not able to do what Jan Granqvist did.
Oh, look at Dylan Platt.
Dylan
Platt will now try to go around the outside of Adam Rainey. No, he can't. There is no grip around the outside, and Adam Rainey still stays in P5.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking further back, I think Quint, Morris and Machado were all getting a bit 5 deep. They've all switched positions a few times and stuff, I believe. But we've got Quint in P8, Isaac Morris has made his way up to P9, and Machado has dropped back to a little bit to P10. But in general, they're all, just sort of following each other for now.
Yeah.
I suppose they're waiting for the DRS to be lost from the car in front to make it a little bit easier to make some moves.
Yeah, but for now, I don't see that big drama. Our 31 cars still are, they are all driving, and I believe there's nobody that's, I think, a lot behind the whole group of cars. So it's still a very long train of cars. So that's very good to see. So let's see
exactly
who were the biggest movers. So Isaac Morris already in P9, with Jake Denhan already in P7. And if I look at how Jake Denhan now is driving, he seems to have much more pace. So
yeah, Dylan Platt there just made a mistake into turn 4, just lost a little bit under brake, and Denhan have to go around the outside. And just like last lap, not quite able to do that, but he's got a little bit of a switchback there. Gonna have a look. No, that's a difficult corner to make any sort of move, let alone trying to dive bomb it up the inside. So he's just gonna have to hold back for now. And I've noticed at the front, so I see Jan Granqvist has been helped a little bit by Scott Mitchell Scott Mitchell's mistake turn 1 the previous lap. He's sort of on his own now, but Fabian Ruth has been closing in on Darius Andre, obviously now with the help of DRS.
Oh, Darius goes off the track.
Does, it goes very wide there. I don't think he lost much time from doing that. But,
but Fabian will now have a run. I don't think he can go for it now. Yeah, Darius is defending the inside. Fabian breaks later. But I think this is the exit and entry. Fabian will try it. Darius will defend the inside, but Fabian will of course have DRS. He will go around the outside. He will go for a move. Will not get a lot of room. Do you know that with Darius? Goes around the outside. They touch. He's still there. Oh, they still touch. And it's on the limit for Darius, but I think it is still acceptable. And Darius is still leading, but Fabian Ruth is putting more and more pressure on. And what does that mean for the whole group behind? Can Jan Grandvries, can he make it a three-way battle? Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be difficult. I'm sure he'll be wanting to go for it. Obviously on his debut, I mean, any sort of podium would be amazing in itself, but if he's to keep battling, then it will allow him to close in. He's just got himself into the DRS range of them. Meanwhile, looking further behind, I noticed Adam Rainey unfortunately had a little bit of a lag spike, I believe, and ended up making contact with Scott Mitchell because of it. Dropped Scott Mitchell all the way back down into P9. Adam Rainey, though, has kind of kept it into P4, and I think Dennehan almost going onto the grass looking up the inside of Dylan Platt there. This time he's going to have to go around the outside now.
Yeah, and now we've got a mistake from Darius Andre again on acceleration out of the corner. Can Fabian Ruth, can he do it now? Go to the lead. He's got a better run. Can he outbrake him? He will try. Darius is still there. Will try to go around the outside. Darius is still there. And slightly ahead. Darius is slightly ahead, but the next corner is to the left. Can Fabian do it? He's trying it. Oh, they touch it, and that's not the first time this race. And they touch again. Ooh, and I believe Darius got pushed a bit wide there. But yeah, it was quite interesting. And now Jan Grandvries is in P3. He thinks like, oh guys, just battle whatever you want, and I will just follow. And does that mean that also Adam Rainey and Dylan Platt, can they get closer to this battle?
Yeah, I noticed on the last lap, obviously Dennehan and Platt were having a battle, but one of them must have made a mistake because allowed Quint through in between them into P6.
They're around 8 tenths to a second slower than what they could drive. That's what they now have. We've got an attack from Darius. Darius will try to outbrake Fabian. Yeah. He's there. And now they're side by side. And Darius is the one that has got the DRS, so he will still have the inside. He will try it. Goes to the inside again. Yes, and it looks like Darius tries to overtake, and he will overtake Fabian again.
Fabian Ruth got a little bit pushed wide. There was a little bit more contact between them, and that's allowed Grandvries through into P2. Very opportunistic move there. It's very good from him. So let's see now if Grandvries has the pace. Obviously, he was sort of dropping back from them at the start of the race. Got pulled into their fight with their battling. It'll be interesting to see now if he's got the pace to keep up with them. And maybe have a look for his own moves onto Darius Andre. See those two, Ruth and Andre, with their battling, may have turned up the tyres maybe a little bit more than Grandvries, or got a slight bit of damage. You never know.
Yeah, Jan Grandvries' car looks a bit more balanced than Darius's is, and will we see Jan Grandvries leading an FC race at his debut? We shall see.
He's going to have a look around the outside. So yeah, into turn 3. He's going to have to brake late. It's difficult to do when you're next to Darius Andre. He does do it. He's still around the outside there on the exit. Yeah. Darius got the DRS though.
Yeah, Darius is very smart. So Darius sees that he's getting past, so he's trying to still get DRS, and now he can just like keep the lead. And look at Fabian Ruth. He's trying to get back. Oh, and he's now
meanwhile
next
behind that. Oh, Mike Quint made go for a move around the outside of Dylan Platt and messed up a little bit. That's allowed Jake Dennehan back through, who himself is going to have a look at the inside of Dylan Platt. Not able to do it. Meanwhile, at the front, I know it's Fabian Roof now, has made his move on Jan Grankvist, so it's back into P2. So top 3 back into the order they were a couple of laps ago. They've all sort of reset themselves now.
Yeah, so it's still Darius after a leading, but they're all trying to get him from the first position, but that didn't work for now. But now it's Fabian Ruud again who's going to try to attack Darius, and with DRS he might have a chance again. He passed him already a few laps to go, and now he will go again for it. Darius again will send him again around the outside, brakes later, and now Darius is ahead again.
Yeah, a little bit more contact between them. Very hard racing between them. They are not holding back at all for this win. But still, both pointing in the right way. Fabian Roof not far enough to have a look there into turn 4. Meanwhile, behind, another very hard battle between Denihan, Platt and Quint. And Morris as well, getting involved.
Well.
Denihan made his way through, up into P5 from P12. Making his way through these guys. And Mike Quint now, making his way up into P6.
Oh, and Isaac
That's allowed Isaac Morris through as well on Dylan Platt. He's lost 3 positions there in the space of about 3
and now
corners.
look at Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell will get Dylan Platt as well. It's just like the momentum is gone at Dylan, and then it will be difficult to get it back. Scott is trying, and now Dylan actually stays ahead. No, it's still Scott who overtakes. And now we've got Mercedes also going for it. But I believe at the lead we nearly had Fabian Ruud going to lead into the start-finish straight, and now it's Darius again, and it's Jan Grankvist. This is like, this is amazing, because now we've got Fabian going for the lead again. But I believe there is a mistake. Now there's a mistake from Darius, and now Jan Grankvist will get the lead, and he will get DRS. So it's now a drag race between Darius and Jan Grankvist, and Jan Grankvist will have the inside. Darius cannot make that stick, I think, unless he's braking much later. He's trying. Oh, he's still there. Oh, and he's getting pushed on the grass, and then 2 cars pass. So it's now Adam Rainey in P3 and Fabian Ruud in P2. Oh, they're fighting so hard for it.
Yeah, that was incredible. I was watching as well further down the battle for, really P8 backwards or P9 backwards has been very spicy. There's been a lot of moves happening. Quite difficult to really keep up. I think Luke Mitchell made up about 4 positions and then lost them all on the same lap. Very interesting stuff. Everyone really going for it in this race, which is exactly what we like to see.
That's really what we want to see. So can Jan Grankvist, can he drive away? I don't think so, because Fabian Ruud still looks lightning quick on this track. And he is hunting for his first win as well in this series, George. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If Fabian Roof, he missed the first round, but he has been very, very consistent. Like I said, not quite able to get a win. I don't believe he's even got a podium so far. No, he doesn't.
I don't believe so. No.
But he's definitely had the pace to be up there. So maybe this race is exactly what he needs to. I'm sure it'll make him hungry for this win. But Jan Grankvist at the moment on his debut is what stands in his way for it. Adam Rainey, obviously he did make that move on Andre. He's now lost it and has dropped back a little bit. So it looks like these top 3 are really the ones setting the pace today. Quite difficult for the others to keep up with them. But further behind you've got Jake Denhonen, obviously Darius' teammate in P5, so good for him and good for the TCS Soft team again, leading the team standings.
The thing is with
White. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Fabian Roof. He went for the move on Grankvist, and it looks like Grankvist just sort of let him through. Maybe like what Darius did the other lap, just trying to get the DRS, set him up for a move later on in the lap. Interesting to see there though from Jan Grankvist.
Well, Adam Rainey can follow the top 3 quite well. And yeah, you already said it, Jake Denhoen now in P5. He started from P12, so he does show that he's got a lot of race pace. while Isaac Morris, who started from P14, also is in P7. So yeah, it all show that they are quite good when they got more fuel on board.
Exactly, yeah. Further back there, that midfield battle really for the kind of last of the points position. Sorry, just as exciting as it was a few laps ago. I believe there was a bit of an incident that sent, I think it was Luke Mitchell down. No, it wasn't Luke Mitchell. Can't remember who it was, but someone unfortunately got sent spinning. But there's still a lot of them there fighting for these points. And at the front again, the top four still very close with each other. And Karankas looks like he's actually dropped back a little bit. Fabian Ruth definitely not in the range to make a move, and he's got Darius Andre right behind him, who will go for moves. Not quite able to do it at turn 3, but they both lock up a little bit, have a bit of a slide, but they're both still pointing the right direction.
Yeah, but now look at
Adam Rainey. Wow, that's easy move there from Adam Rainey. Not sure if Darius maybe let him through a little bit, or if he's just got that much speed in his setup down the straight line, but yeah, quite easy there from Adam Rainey. He's made his way back onto the podium now. Oh, and that's Joseph Herlock on the grass. I'll have to have a look back and see what happened there, but it looks like he might, yeah, he just dropped it on his own out of the corner on the curb. That's unfortunate to see. So now he's dropped down to P17.
Out of the points.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. We've got Diogo Moscato spinning in another incident with Herlock. And Diogo Moscato is out of the race.
He's out of the race, yeah.
So that's our first retirement, which is a shame. But luckily we've got 2 races, so hopefully we'll see him back in the second race.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it's a shame to see, but in some ways it's quite surprising that it's taken 15 laps for our first time, and that's good to see. It's been hard racing, but clearly quite fair overall.
So what is very interesting to see is that our number 2 qualifier, at least on time, Mika Hakimi, now is in P16. If he can get 1 place higher, of course, he will get points and a chance to be reversed. So I think that's what he's eyeing. He's looking quite fast the last few laps, so hopefully he can get to in a points scoring position.
Yeah, definitely, and I think as well, Jack Nichols, you've got to say, has also done pretty well. So he started P20 just in front of Mika Hakimi. He's made his way up into P13. So like I say, he's already in the points and has that chance of reverse grid pole, which for Jack Nichols, I mean, we've seen him get that before and take the win because of it. So sure he's will be hoping to do that again today, but obviously it comes down to a little bit of luck with the reverse grid number. Meanwhile, back at the front, it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. Frankfurt and Rainey not able to make moves on each other, but Darius Andre here in P4 is close enough to make a move, or to look for moves on Adam Rainey. It's going to do it into turn 3. It's going to be a big dive if he does go for it. Looks up the inside, and he has it. Has a relatively clean move from what we've seen in the last few laps.
We had Mike Quint off. Mike Quint wanted to go for overtake on Jake Denhan. Jake Denhan locked up, pushed Mike Quint accidentally a bit wide, and now Isaac Morris passed Jake Denhan. And now it's Mike Quint going around the outside of Isaac Morris again to getting P6 again. Oh, this is a really good battle for, what is it, P5? And they go all in.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, for Isaac Morris, sure he really wants it P5. Obviously, yeah, not an ideal qualifying for him. So it'll be a little bit of damage limitation, really, to lose as little points as he can to Darius Andre. Sure, that's what he's targeting here. And obviously, no matter what, if it stays as it is at the moment, he will be starting race 2 in front of Darius Andre. That's where he really will have the chance to gain the points on him in the championship. But yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to do it with Mike Quint so close behind him, because I'm sure he'll be ready to pick up any pieces that fall off if he goes for a move.
Well, very interesting. Now, Jack Nichols is now out of the points. He's in P16 with Mika Hakimi now in P15. So bad news for all the fans of Jack Nicholls, because if he can not get at top 15, he will of course not get reversed. Because that's
Isaac Morris there, sorry. He, I think, tried to make a move around the outside at turn 3 of Dennehan, and he's got him on the run down into turn 4. He got him under the brakes, yes he does, but Mike Quint there, looking around the outside. No, he's slid off a little bit, and he's lost those positions again, but stays in P7. Dennehan now P6, and Isaac Morris, like I said, has moved up to P5, and Darius Andre as well lost the position to Adam Rainey there. So this is perfect really for Isaac Morris. I mean, it was looking like it would be a good round, or a good race at least, for Darius Andre getting the points in the championship, but not quite gone that way at the moment. But we're going to head on to the final lap. So Isaac Morris will be looking to hold on to his P5. But also Darius Andre will be looking to make these laps on Adam Rainey.
Jake Dennehan went off into the final corner, and that allowed Mike Quint to get past. So now it's Jake Dennehan in P7 and Mike Quint in P6. What will happen with 1 lap to go?
Yeah, Quint with a big slide there at turn 1. This has helped Isaac Morris a lot.
Look at Darius.
Darius just backing off a little bit there. I think going for that DRS again into turn 4.
Yeah.
That's clearly where he likes to make the moves.
I think that's the thing. I think he wants to do the overtake on this straight if he can do it, and yeah, I fear he can't now. So it looks like he will not score a podium, Darius Andre. But of course, we're not at the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit too far back there, but he is very close. He's got to go around the outside. And is that Adam Rainey? Oh, he's having another little lag issue there, but he stayed in front. Darius Andre slides off again. This could be quite dangerous here for Darius. Does not want to be taken out at all. That will not do the championship. Very good for him. But it looks like, at least for now, Adam Rainey is going to hold on to that podium.
We're going to the leader and the winner of the first race of the evening. The first race he wins in the Formula Challenge. It's Fabian Ruth. He wins his first race, and then it's another, another guy with his first podium on his debut is Jan Grankvist, with Adam Rainey getting, I believe, his first podium in P3, with Darius P4, Isaac in P5, Mike Quint in P6, with Jake Dennehan finished P7, with Scott Mitchell in P8, Ruven Machede in P9, and Dylan Platt in P10, Luke Mitchell in P11, Tom Parker in P12, Tom van der Voort in P13, with Massimiliano Riboli in P14, and the last point scoring position for Mika Hakimi, with Jack Nicholls not scoring any points, and then that will mean he will start from P16 in race 2, so that's a big shame. The rest of the finishers are Herlock in 17th, Guzowski in 18th, Morvel in 19th, Bell in 20th, with Somala 21st, Close-up 22nd, with Sandak 23rd, Jared van der Weide at P24, Bruno Cesarea P25, Don Halsall P26, Stefan Scheider in P27, Sean Jones P28, Tommy Koivu in P29, and Ben Willis in P30, with Diogo Moscato being our only retirement of this race.
Yes, well, like you touched on there, a completely different podium to what we've seen so far this season. Like you say, first win for Fabian Ruth, first podium for Jan Grankvist on his debut, and first podium for Adam Rainey after he's only done a few rounds this season himself. So very, very good to see there, really. And behind them, the two championship rivals at the moment, Darius Andre in P4 and Isaac Morris P5. So very interesting to see for the championship, and just good to see in general for the series, see new guys coming in and getting the rewards. But that was race 1. Like I said, race 2 will be coming up soon after about 5-minute break, and that will be reverse grid with a random number between 10 and 15. So can't wait to show you that. But for now, like I said, we're going on a small break, and we'll be back in a minute. Hello and welcome back for race 2 of Formula Challenge at Austria. After a very exciting race 1 here, with a lot of, well, very good battling, I have to say. We ended up with Fabian Reef getting the win there. But this time around we've had the reverse grid number was P12, which means that Tom Parker is going to be starting on pole. Obviously Tom, he's, well, been around quite a while, a very good driver, and showed in Australia really. He had the pace for the win there, unfortunately was unable to convert it, and since then he's not had maybe the best of the results, but he's in a good spot now to go for the win. So we'll just have to wait and see if he's able to do that. Menno, what do you think is going to happen in this race? Do you think he's got a good chance here?
He's got a very good chance to win this race, and I believe he was pretty close for a win at what is it, Australia race 2. So maybe he can do it now. He's got enough skills to make it work, but also Luke Mitchell and Dylan Platt, and I think everybody behind, also Ruben Mercedes and Scott Mitchell, will feel that this is a very good chance of a win. And let's see what all the guys can do, and yeah, if we will see yeah, the same amount of racing, or maybe we'll see even closer racing. Well,
Yeah.
I've got the starting order.
Yeah, so like we said, Tom Parker on pole there, Luke Mitchell P2, well, just skipped that already, but we had Dylan Platt P3 and Ruben Machete P4, with Scott Mitchell P5, Jake Denham P6, Mike Quint P7, and Isaac Morris P8, with Darius Andre, his rival behind him in P9, Adam Rainey P10, Jan Grankfist P11, Fabian Roof, the winner from race 1, first time winner in P12, and then behind him we've got Tom van der Voort in P13, Massimiliano Raboli P14, Mika Hakimi with a great job to get himself up to P15 in race 1, Jack Nichols just outside the points in P16, and Joseph Herlock P17, Tez Kozowski P18, Kevin Morville P19, and Mike Bell P20. Then Michael Tumala P21, Jeff Closer P22, Matthew Sandak P23, and Jared van der Weide P24. Then Bruno Sousa Ferreira P25, Dan Holsall P26, Stefan Schreider P27, Dawn Jones P28. And then Tommy Koivunen P29 and Ben Wose P30, and I believe Diogo Moscato obviously DNF'd in race 1, and it doesn't look like he's come back for race 2, unfortunately. So we're just going to be running with 30 cars this time out, which is a shame to see, but I'm sure we can still have some good racing given what we saw in race 1. So cars now all line up onto the grid. Again, just like race 1, no one starting in the pit lane, so we've got full grid on the grid.
It will be a very interesting race start, I guess. I can see a lot of people taking more risk because this is the final race of the evening, but we shall see that while the lights now go on. I see 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are go. I think it's a good start from Tom Parker. Luke Mitchell has got a decent start. Dylan Platzel in P3. Scott Mitchell is now trying to go around the outside, and he does, and he goes to P3. So it's Tom Parker now leading, and he had a really good start.
Yeah,
now we got some drama in the back, and I believe it's Bruno Sousa Ferreira and Stefan Scheider who came together in the first corner.
Ooh, Isaac Morris there, all the way up into P5 already. I noticed, yeah, I think Ruben Machete had a bad start off the line. He dropped back a few positions. Isaac Morris there, he's going to make an overtake on 4 cars, is he? By turn 4, not quite, but still made 3 overtakes there into turn 3 to move himself up into P5. Mike Quint is looking back to go around the outside. No, not quite able to do that. So, yeah, like you say, Tom Parker P1, got Mitchell in P2 with his, I believe, brother next to him or behind him in P3, Luke Mitchell, Dylan Platt P4, Isaac Morris P5, Mike Quint P6, Jake Denham P7, Darius Andre not making any moves at the moment on that one in P8, Ruben Machete dropping down a little bit into P9, and Adam Rainey as well dropping back a tiny bit into P10.
Well, yeah, it's of course really close, but look at the lead Tom Parker has, and yeah, we know one thing from Tom Parker: when he's got the lead, then and he's getting into his rhythm, then it will be difficult to catch. But of course, Scott Mitchell will try his very best to get closer and closer.
Exactly, as Isaac Morris there tried to look around the outside of Dylan Platt, but Dylan Platt was very late on the brakes to keep his position there, keep his P4. But Isaac Morris is going to have a big run as well. Obviously no DRS so far, but still, just as the overspeed, is he going to make the move around the outside of turn 4? No, again, Dylan Platt very late on the brakes. That is well, very good to see from him. So he keeps that P4 for now, but I feel when the DRS is introduced, it could be quite difficult for him. But we'll have to wait and see.
Mike Quinn in P6 is also looking if he can pass Isaac. Of course, Isaac is attacking a lot, but Isaac shouldn't do anything stupid, because then, yeah, Mike Quinn, of course, will have a chance to attack. And Mike Quinn looks quite racy today, so let's see.
Exactly, yeah. Those two already had a really good battle in race 1, and it looks like that might continue into race 2. as Scott Mitchell actually did get the fastest lap there, but only just Tom Parker already with a 1.6 second advantage. So already cleared the DRS, and actually Luke Mitchell as well out the DRS of Scott. It's going to allow Dylan Platt actually to have a look into turn 3 maybe. Not quite. Isaac Morris was too far back there once the DRS was open to be able to make have another look at Dylan Platt.
Yeah, well, we currently got one retirement in Stefan Scheider, and Jack Nichols only P27, so he had a really poor start. So Austria doesn't seem to be the race weekend for Jack Nichols. So it's unfortunately for him. So unfortunate that we don't see him into up points position. So, but yeah, maybe that will still happen.
Yeah, exactly. It could. Meanwhile, in the points, we do have Kevin Morville of Sim Racing Guys. Obviously, they've struggled for points a little bit this season, but at the moment, he is in the points. And in front, it's, well, what it's been for the first few laps now. Dylan Platt is still maybe a little bit too far back there from Luke Mitchell to be able to look for a move, at least into turn 1. Maybe he'll be looking again into turn 3. And Isaac Morris is a lot closer this time around. He's closing in a lot on Dylan Platt here. Is he going to be able to have a look into turn 3? Going to go up the inside. He's very late on the brakes.
It's a send.
It's a big send, but it's very clean, and he's well, not quite got him on the exit. They're side by side on the run down into turn 4. Isaac Morris on the inside, so it should be a little bit easier for him than having to go around the outside. But no, Dylan Platt again very late on the brakes. There's a little bit of contact there at the apex, but that's allowed Isaac Morris through into P4. Not quite the cleanest of moves we've seen, but still, I think it was just about fair. So Isaac Morris up into P4, Dylan Platt down into P5, and Mike Quint still one behind them in P6, with then the two TCS off cars, Linus Stern in P7 and 8.
Wow. I don't see any big drama for now. And also, we didn't see the rain for now. Well, I see a mistake from Isaac Morris, and he loses 1 position. No, he loses 2 position, and I fear even more because he ran wide into the last corner.
Yeah, not good at all. But then Mike Quint makes a mistake himself into turn 1, having made that move on Isaac Morris. So that's allowed Isaac Morris the run on him up into turn 3. He's going to have to go around the outside, and Jake Dennehan, like you're about to say, sorry. Have a look as well. Oh, and Darius Andre very late on the brakes. Isaac Morris and Quint still side by side. They make more contact on the exit. They're still rubbing wheels against each other, I think. Darius Andre there really tried to send around the outside.
And Jake Dennehan wants to make it 3 wide. Don't do it, Jake. Don't do it. And there's Darius. Darius on his teammate. Oh, this is...
Teammates make contact. Quint and Morris are making contact. Again, though, they've all made it through. They've gone 3 wide here, are they? Into turn 5. That is not normally what you see. The two chess off cars again pushing each other. You do not want to hit your teammate. That is the last thing you want to do in this race.
And then the question I have is with Isaac and with Mike Quint now, who's got more to lose? And that's, of course, is Isaac Morris with Jake Dennehan and Darius Andre. The numbers, well, yeah, I would say numbers 1 and 3 of the championship. Now, yeah, close behind. So now it's Mike Quint who's in P5, and he's enjoying it. But yeah, just at the lead, it's still Tom Parker. But Scott Mitchell is getting closer and closer. And yeah, I believe it has been a while for Scott Mitchell when he last got on the podium. And he now feels that there is a chance on some glory and maybe a P1 again. So he's hunting Tom Parker down. It's Luke Mitchell now in P3, which would be absolutely amazing if he could finish there.
It would be. So all a little bit cleaner there into turn 3 this time around. Everyone keeping it a little bit more calm this lap. But all this battling has allowed Ruben Machede. Darius Andre sliding again through the corner. You've got to question whether TCS Off potentially could think about some team orders. Darius Andre is the one at the moment, at least, fighting for the championship and fighting for the championship with the car in front of Jake Dennehan at the moment, Isaac Morris. But at the moment, it looks like they're going to have to, Darius at least, is going to have to fight for it. But yeah, I mean, the last thing you want, like I say, is for both of them to take each other out. So maybe some sort of orders will have to come in there. But all this fighting has allowed Ruben Machede back onto the back of this train. Adam Rainey just a little bit further behind there, under pressure from Jan Granqvist now into turn 1. Gonna have to look up the inside, but no, backs out that one, not quite enough alongside him there. And Fabian Reeves as well behind him. So actually the podium then hasn't really moved at all. Well, hasn't moved at all. Oh, you saw there, sorry, Mike Quint going defensive on Isaac Morris, and Isaac Morris was a switchback out of turn 3.
Yeah.
He's got the DRS as well, so he's played that very smartly, and he has got the move already, even before the braking zone of turn 4. Will Mike Quint be able to have a look back at him? No, not quite. Darius Andre, again, just looking, I mean, I'm sure he is in control of it, but looking a little bit out of control under the brakes there into turn 4. Now a few laps in a row of doing that. I'm sure Jake Danahan is getting a little bit worried seeing that in his mirror, but they have kept it clean so far.
Yeah, it's very close. And look at Fabian Ruud, who won the first race. He's only in P12, and that's where he started. So that shows to me that this race is quite fast still, and yeah, you cannot pass very easily.
Exactly. Oh, Mike Quint there has made a mistake on the exit of the final corner. Done exactly what Isaac Morris did. Darius Andre now is going to have a look up the inside of his teammate. Is he into turn 1? No, he backs out of that one. So Mike Quint actually losing 3 positions there because of this. And this has also allowed Isaac Morris to escape from this battle.
Mistake from Jan Granqvist. And now actually Fabian Ruud will go from P12 to P10. Because he also passed, was it Adam Rainey?
Oh, and that's Quint and Andre really wide at turn 3 there. Both off the track.
Oh,
they've rejoined safely. But Quint, yeah, like I say, lost a lot of positions. Darius Andre as well, losing quite a few, dropping down into P8. Gonna make more moves into turn 4 maybe? No, not quite.
Oh, Quint is out!
He's out!
Quint is
out.
No!
What happened here? Obviously he made that contact with Andre at turn 3. And I'm not sure, did he get involved in another incident? No, he just...
No, that was really strange what happened there. I'm not sure what it was. I think something broke on the car or on the wheel when he did that move, because that was not race-ending damage. Well, we've got a mistake in P3. It's Luke Mitchell who made a mistake, and now Dylan Platt will go for P3. And now it's the Thunderdog. We had number, was it 65, that now goes into P3. So, very interesting. Getting back on the incident, how much did Darius lose with that?
Well, so he dropped all the way down into P8. So being, well, I believe actually now it means overall he's only lost 1 position. And Danahan, and Morris going side by side there into turn 3, and Danahan's made the move on Morris. Yeah. Was not expecting that. I didn't think they were that close to it. But Dylan Platt now, it looks like Luke Mitchell made the position back. Dylan Platt looking to retake that P3 once again from Luke Mitchell, and he's done it there into turn 4. So now I'm sure he'll be looking to run away a little bit before we get to the next DRS zone. But yeah, action everywhere. Difficult to talk about what's been happening, but yeah, I guess Darius Lunsbury ended up a little bit lucky from all of this, that he's yeah, only really lost 1 position in the scheme of things. But now he's got Fabian Reef right behind him. See them two having a great battle in race 1, and I'm sure Fabian will be wanting to do that once again this time around. And at the front, look, Scott Mitchell has closed in massively on Tom Parker. He's right behind him. He's backing off a little bit there to, I guess, wait for the next DRS zone. Which is quite smart for him to do, but he is right on the back of him. You've got to say he's in a great position to look for the move here.
More than enough time to do the overtake, but I think he already go for it. Yeah,
he does, up the inside into turn 3. Oh, but he looks up and he goes straight on. That's allowed Tom Parker back through. So, like you say, he did have a lot of time for it. He went for it anyway. Unfortunately not working out, and Tom Parker actually got the DRS out of that as well. So Scott Mitchell's going to have to wait another lap at least. Meanwhile, further back, Fabian Reeves is looking to make the move on Darius Andre. Gonna have to go around the outside of turn 4. They make more contact. Once again, restarting where they left off in race 1. Making more contact, but again, they both make it through. Fabian Ruth just having to sit behind Alessandro now. I think behind them as well, Jan Grankvist and Raboli having a little battle there into turn 4. But I think they've kind of kept their positions as they are now. And then Kevin Morville is still running in the points there in P15, but he's got Tom van der Voort right behind him. And I'm sure we'll be looking to take that point off on. So then back at the front, obviously Scott Mitchell lost a lot of time there last lap, so I don't think he's quite going to be close enough this time around to have a look. He did before. But further back, D'Alessandro now is actually the one that's going to be looking to make the move here on Ruben Machete up into turn 3. He's going to go up the inside, and he's, well, made that quite easily really. Ruben just quite smartly backing off to do what Darius did in race 1 and get the DRS here into turn 4. Is he going to be able to do it? Closing, he's going to have to look around the outside. We've seen it's been quite difficult to pull that off, but you're going to do it. No, there's a bit more contact between them. The Frelik and Tuesday soft cars making, well, having quite a bit of rubbing today, but
yeah.
all of them staying on the track, which is good to see.
And Tom Parker is still leading, and Scott Mitchell had a chance, and yeah, actually with the mistake he made, he now gave Tom Parker a bit more time to defend. Scott Mitchell looks a bit faster, and we've got a spinner, off spinner. Tom Parker made a mistake out of the last corner, and now Scott Mitchell easily got past. Oh, that was nearly a race-ending spin for Tom Parker, but with his talent, of course, he could catch that car. But that was pretty close, Josh. Not sure if you saw it already. The incident.
I wasn't quite able to, but yeah, I mean, lucky to keep it in P2. Meanwhile, Ruben Machete is looking around the outside of D'Alessandro again into turn 3. And again, not able to do it. Fabian Ruth there, his teammate, got his nose involved a little bit, and it looks like he's going to be let through to restart his battle with D'Alessandro. So the Team Frelik guys there working together a little bit better than the Team Set cars did earlier on in the race. And hopefully we'll see Fabian Ruth being able to make those moves, or attempt those moves once again. Further back as well, I noticed on the last lap Jan Grankvist closed in a lot on that pack in front, but he's actually now lost the position to Adam Rainey over that lap, so positions changing all over the track. Very difficult to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, we now got Dylan Platt in P3, and he didn't score a single podium this year, and I believe in the Formula Challenge. So if he can get this P3, we will have yet another driver who will get his first podium. So let's see if he can manage to stay in P3 or even get closer to the other two.
Exactly, yeah, behind him though, fighting for P5. Isaac Morris going to have to go around the outside there. Not quite able to do it on Jake Dennehan. Going to have to switch back easy. No, not quite got the run out of the corner. Dennehan's still ahead, but Isaac Morris is very close here. Going to have to look for the move again round the outside at turn 4. And it looks like he's not quite far off alongside to do that, is he? There's a bit of contact there, pushing each other wide a little bit. And he's still there. He's going to have the inside line here for the left-hander here at turn 6, I believe it is. Yeah. He has got it at the moment. And yes, Isaac Morris there has made the move on Jake Dennehan, moved up into P5. So you're talking about Dylan Platt wanting to get his first podium, but I'm sure if Isaac Morris is released here by Jake Dennehan, he'll be looking to take that off him. Behind.
Yeah, but
Fabian
there are
Ruth.
not many laps to go, so it will be interesting to see if what Isaac now can do towards Luke Mitchell, who's now in P4.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta say, further behind Fabian Ruth, he got close to D'Alessandro on that lap. Not close enough to make any sort of moves, but now it looks like he's gonna set Darius up for a potential move. As there you got Mitchell and Platt side by side at turn 3.
Oh.
Fabian Ruth as well, looking around the outside, not able to do that. So we'll look through this battle for the podium. Dylan Platt has lost it at the moment to Luke Mitchell, and like I said, Isaac Morris is already caught onto the back of him. Dylan Platt looking up the inside there into turn 4 and make a bit of contact, but they're still heading on into turn 6. And Isaac Morris looking up the inside of them all, not able to make any moves yet. So Dylan Platt is held on to his podium position for now. Luke Mitchell still in P4. For now, I say that, Isaac Morris has got a great run out of that corner into the penultimate corner. Is he going to be able to go around the outside? This is not normally where you see the moves get made. And he has done it, but he's lost the rear a bit. And he's slid off the track. And he's lost that position to Jake Dennehan that he worked so hard to get. So Isaac Morris back into P6.
Great driving. You just see they take a lot of risk, but yeah, if they make a mistake, then yeah, it's just because they're on the edge of what's possible. And exactly, now I believe we see Luke Mitchell getting a run on Dylan Platt again. Can he then go for the podium? And they both wanted to get the podium, and there's only one spot available. But now Luke Mitchell moves into the P3 again, and now it's P4 again. And now we've got Jake Dennehan there in P5 again. Now it will be P4. He will look towards the inside. No, he cannot do it. And
Isaac Morris is on his inside. Oh, and they're bouncing around between each other. Isaac Morris has made the move on both of them there. Luke Mitchell really biggest loser, not really through any fault of his own, but I don't think they all knew exactly just how, or really knew that they were 3 wide there. But Isaac Morris has made the positions and will now be hunting down that.
From Morris.
Very risky, yeah. But clearly he wants all the points he can get with Darius Andre. And as I say that, Fabian Reef on that did make the move on Darius Andre, so it's up into P7. And now Ruben Machete is all over the back of Andre again, like he was a few laps ago. Oh, but he makes a mistake in the final corner, so he's dropped back. Oh, and Isaac Morris is already going for the move into turn 1, and he's got it on Dylan Platt onto the podium positions. But now Dylan Platt will have the DRS here up into turn 3. Is he going to be able to go around the outside, or is he going to look for the switch back into turn 4? It looks like he's going to brake a little bit earlier, but no, they both go straight on a little bit. And Jake Dennehan as well made the move. Is he now going to get P3? He is, like Isaac Morris doesn't have the DRS, and Luke Mitchell as well has made the move back on Dylan Platt to get P5.
Now Jake Dennehan in P3.
Contact there, and now Jake Dennehan, yes, like you say, into P3. So that podium position is changing who's got it. Lap after lap, Dylan Platt and Luke Mitchell, I think they're having a bit more of a battle there, and it looks like Dylan Platt has got himself back up into P5. But yeah, this is mad how much they're all fighting over it, but see just how much they want this podium. As Fabian Roof has actually been able to go onto the back of this battle with all the fighting they've done. Darius Andre as well, not too far behind, now in the DRS of it.
Isaac is close again for P3. He's close, but I think he will not go for the overtake into turn 1. Well, we've got 2 laps to go, if I'm not mistaken. But who will get that final podium spot? We've got 3, 4, 5 guys that want it. But only one can finish P3.
Yeah, I think after the last lap, Isaac Morris learned better than to go for the move into turn 1. Jake Dennehan there with slight lock up into turn 3, but he's still been able to get a really good exit there. It's going to be difficult for Isaac to make the move, I think, into turn 4 right now. But he's going to have to look around the outside once again. He just about gets alongside, but no, not far enough. And Fabian Reef and Luke Mitchell side by side there on the exit. But Luke Mitchell keeps his P6 for now. Darius Andre, is this going to allow him to have a look for the move from Fabian Reef? No, not quite. So they all keep their positions this time around, but like I say, we're going to be heading on to the final lap, and that's really where they're going to have to decide whether they want to go all or nothing to get this podium spot, or to make any position they can. Because meanwhile, at the front, Scott Mitchell is looking quite clear of Tom Parker, so the top 2 at least look like they might keep in the order that they are. That is further behind.
Be like it, and this is something what Scott Mitchell really wants to wants to have like just those races where he has a healthy lead, and yeah, he doesn't need to make a lot of risky moves. So yeah, we're nearly there.
Exactly. Yeah. Isaac Morris, he's going to look again around the outside at turn 3. Not able to do it. Oh, but he gets pushed wide a bit by Jake Dennehan. Going to allow Dylan Platt here to make the move. Potentially, he's going to have a look behind as well. Fabian Reeve. I think Luke Mitchell made a mistake there. But meanwhile, yes, Dylan Platt is going to look around the outside at turn 4. Now he slides a little bit, and that's allowed Isaac Morris to keep that position. So for now, at least they're all staying where they are. Behind Mika Hakimi and Ruben Machado going side by side. Isaac Morris sliding his way through there. But it looks like they went for the moves, but at least P3, 4 and 5 are going to stay what they were on the final lap.
Yeah, but there we've got the finish of race 2. It's Scott Mitchell who wins race 2 here at the Red Bull Ring, Austria in Spielberg, with Tom Parker in 2nd position, and Jake Dennehan is getting P3 with Isaac Morris in P4, Dylan Platt in P5, Fabian Ruth P6, with Darius Andre in P7, Luke Mitchell in P8, Ruven Machado in P9, with Mika Hakimi in P10, with Jan Grunkvist in P11, Joseph Herlock P12, with Massimiliano Ribolo in P13, Tom van der Voort P14, and Kevin Morville holds on to the final position in P15.
Yeah, so that was well, quite a mad race, really. Like I said, I mean, every single driver, it looks like, on the grid wanted that podium spot, and there were a lot of them were fighting for it. But eventually, it was well, Jake Dennehan got it. You know, it sort of came out of nowhere. He wasn't really in the fight for it, at least at the start of the race, but yeah, he ended up with it. Isaac Morris, like you said, P4, so that's going to do well for him in the championship against Darius Andre. Obviously, they've both been quite close to each other this round. I believe they might even end up on the same point coming out of this round, but we'll have to wait to be able to confirm that one. But either way, it's going to be even closer than it was coming into the round. So very exciting stuff there for the championship, and just as a round overall, fighting up and down the grid, so much so it was difficult to keep up with. Yeah, don't even know what to say after that, Menno.
Yeah, well, it was close. We expected that, but that it was this close, yeah, they really went for it all. And I saw a lot of optimistic moves, but also some like really good moves where they tried to stick it around the outside of the other driver, and it was a proper racing, and that's what we wanted, the league. So yeah, very good, and very good for championship as well. I think all the championship protagonists, well, scored quite well. Not top points, but not that bad. So I think, all in all, I think everybody should be happy, and yeah, there's some people on the podium who weren't there before. So yeah, that's also very good to see. So yeah, good round overall.
Yes, definitely. Just waiting to see if anyone is going to come in for an interview. Be interesting to see. Well, I mean, any of the top 3 from race 1. See, like we said, that was a completely new podium to what we've seen before the season in Formula Challenge. Race 2, obviously, Scott Mitchell, he's already got a win this season. He's got a second one now. So he's, I mean, we were talking about the championship, but Scott Mitchell himself isn't too far off these guys, or at least Jake Dennehan. So this has done wonders for him there. Tom Parker, like we say, I mean, at least at the start of the season, he was looking like he could be one of the protagonists. Tailed off a little bit, but still been a very consistent point scorer, and his podium as well will help him. And Jake Dennehan obviously is involved as well. As I've just seen, at least for now, the standings has been updated. So Darius Andre will be on 149 points. Isaac Morris behind him on 148. So very close. And Jake Dennehan still about 20 points behind, but he's definitely still in the fight.
He's well, only 20 points down, and that seems to be a lot of points, but I don't think it is. I think one bad round from Isaac or from Darius, and combine it with a good round for Jake, and then he will be up there. So still a 3-horse battle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we will have interviews today because I don't see anybody joining. So
I wouldn't be surprised if everyone's a bit too tired after that them races to be able to do an interview.
yeah.
But yeah, like I say, it don't look like we're going to have any now, but that's okay. It's been a great round of racing here in Austria. Next time out, I should know it myself. Menno, do you know what the next round is?
I believe you're going to Canada.
Yes, that does ring a bell.
And
I'll just have a check. Yes, so next time out, 2 weeks' time, we'll be at Canada.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, in the meantime, we do actually have an interview. Tom Parker here, obviously getting pole for race 2. Not quite able to hold on to a lead there, but you got a podium. I believe your first of the season. How does that feel, Tom?
I'm knackered. I am boiling. It's very hot in my room, and that was a hard drive. Yeah, it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I mean, you and Scott, you had a bit of a battle. Unfortunately, was it a mistake by you that eventually let him through? But what were your thoughts during the battle? Were you just happy to potentially just hold on to the podium, or were you really wanting that win?
Well, obviously you want to win, but yeah, he was quicker. I had done barely any practice, so I was just happy to be where I was. Yeah, and then I made that mistake, save of the year. I think that needs to go down as. But yeah, I mean, him getting past that way, I think helped because if we'd started fighting, we might have started like dropping back into the pack behind, and I didn't want to risk that. So in a way, it wasn't too bad. Then I held on to DRS. At one point, I was catching him back up, and I thought I might have a go, and then I think it just went up into another gear. So can't complain. I'm happy. Second place. I mean, it's like I said, first podium of the season. Maybe I can build on it. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, Scott, bless him, he said well done to me afterwards. I said well done to him. We're having a nice chat now. So I can't be annoyed I didn't win because he drove well. He made one mistake, which was quite funny. I think I spooked him out. But I was aiming for DRS into turn 2, out of turn 2, sorry, and he sailed on, bless him. But yeah, I'm happy. Like I said, it's a podium. We can build on it. Mike's getting there as well. He had a lot of bad luck today again. So once we can sort our qualifying out, I think we'll be laughing.
That's good to hear. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't see your mistake myself, but from what Menno said, well, I think Menno believes it probably goes down as save of the season. So that is good. And what do you think for the rest of the season? Obviously, you had Australia. You were potentially in with a chance at the win there. Unfortunately, not able to do it through no fault of your own. And now you've come back with a podium. Do you think for the rest of the season, you could be up there a little bit more?
If I practice, honestly, obviously, as a lot of people know, I've got a lot of stuff going on, like karting in real life. I've got a job, and it's if I had more time, I think I like Australia. I practiced, and I showed what I could do. Even today, I only think I did 5 laps practice for tonight, for the practice session. I just didn't have time, and I mean, yeah, I was quick. I mean, at one point, I was on fastest lap of the race, and then I made a mistake, but it's one of those things. If I can find some more time, yes. I mean, I've always said ever since last year, I've always said this is going to be like a fun. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm not doing it for a championship. I'm not doing it for the glory, as it were. If I was, I'd be practicing a lot more. But I'm having fun. I'm having some really clean racing. I had some great racing today in race 1 as well. Some really, really good stuff with Vista Van de Vue and co. So I'm just happy. It was nice to have a nice, happy race and not just be stressed. It's nice. Enjoying it.
Yes. Well, hopefully we can have some more fun races for the rest of the season then. So that was Tom Parker. I've said P2 in race 2 there. And as we were saying before, next time out, 2 weeks' time, is the Canadian Grand Prix. In the meantime, we've got Super Cup here on Thursday, and then next week, Super League Lights and Super League at Austria. That'll be very interesting to see. So from me, Menno, Klont alongside me, and Szymon and Frelik on cameras, that has been Austria. Goodbye.